A massive male lion stands silently upon a sun-baked rock overlooking the African. His golden eyes lock onto a distant, bizarre silhouette walking upright on two legs. An ancient, invisible signal triggers deep within the large cat's complex nervous system. The lion slowly turns his head away, choosing a path that leads far into the dense brush. A highly calibrated predatory mind has just completed a critical survival calculation. For over 2 million years, an unwritten code has governed the boundaries of the wild. On paper, the human species appears entirely unequipped for physical survival. We possess no razor-sharp claws, no thick protective hide, and no immense muscular strength. Our bipedal movement is slow and remarkably noisy compared to a sleek leopard. Yet, the apex predators of this planet treat our presence with deep biological caution. An unexpected audio recording of normal human voices echoes through a dark California canyon. A powerful mountain lion instantly drops its ears and flees in absolute terror. The majestic puma abandons a fresh deer carcass it had hunted just an hour prior. Giving up precious calories is an immense, life-threatening cost in the unforgiving wild. Yet, the primal discomfort of remaining near humans heavily outweighs the burning pain. This remarkable avoidance behavior repeats across every single continent on Earth. Massive tigers in the dense forests of India systematically alter their nocturnal hunting route. A tiny human village sitting in prime habitat remains completely bypassed by wild pets. Elusive jaguars in the deep Amazon basin watch from shadows, refusing to step closer. These apex beasts have decided at a species level that contact is never worth the risk. We have been hunting and eliminating large predators with devastating efficiency. Tough, bold predators that dared to approach early human camps were systematically wiped out. Only the most cautious individuals that treated humans as a lethal hazard managed to survive. Over countless generations, this learned weariness became a permanent, hardwired genetic trait. Natural selection permanently etched a profound fear of humans into the predator DNA. When a modern leopard picks up your scent, an ancient evolutionary alarm immediately fires. It is a biological memory screaming at the spots on its back to retreat. Consider the sheer volume of chemical data a sleeping human broadcasts. A wild grizzly bear navigates its world with a nose 7 times stronger than a bloodhound. As a predator approaches a human camp, its sensitive nostrils receive a flood of bizarre information. The strange creature smells entirely wrong, covered in synthetic nylon and factory. Artificial soap, processed food snacks, and insect repellent create a baffling olfactory cocktail. Beneath the heavy, modern layers, you smell fundamentally like an unpredictable primate. A wild predator's hunting instinct is not a generic desire to attack anything that moves. The striking mechanism of a wolf is finely calibrated to the smell and panic of a deer. Anomalies and unknown chemical profiles trigger intense caution rather than primal aggression. A bright, crackling campfire casts long, dancing shadows against the dark forest wall. Fire produces a native, universal fear response across virtually all land-dwelling mammals. Animals that feared ancient wildfires ran away to survive, while the fearless ones, for thousands of generations, sleeping next to a blazing fire was our standard. The glowing embers broadcast a brilliant signal into the dark that a fire controller is. Hollywood movies have spent decades falsely portraying large predators as reckless killing machines. In reality, a wild predator is an extraordinarily careful, calculating survivalist. A large lion does not possess health insurance or a warm hospital to recover in. A single broken limb or a deep infected bite wound means a slow death by starvation. Every single engagement with a potential target is a strict risk-reward mathematical. An unfamiliar human completely fails this calculation because our behavior is entirely unpredictable. The creature might wake up screaming, swing a blunt object, or wield a sharp tool. Our default, upright, bipedal posture makes us appear imposing even when we sit down to rest. Standing on 2 legs is a universal mammalian threat display used by gorillas to intimidate. The risk of a hunt going wrong heavily outweighs the caloric value of a strange primate. A wild animal will almost always choose the familiar, easy deer grazing in the meadow. Furthermore, human sleep is not nearly as deep or defenseless as modern society. We experience rest in distinct, shifting cycles, constantly returning to lighter REMs. During these light intervals, the human brain runs a highly responsive sentinel. A single snapping twig or a sudden change in air pressure will break through awareness. The heavy sleepers of our evolutionary past were caught and failed to pass on their. We sleep lighter because our history demanded we remain alert. Humans almost never travel or sleep alone. We exist in highly cooperative groups. Predators understand group dynamics deeply, always searching for an isolated individual. A tight camp of humans is a collective defense situation that promises chaos for an intruder. Rare attacks do happen, but they almost always follow a broken ecological. It involves a starving beast, a sick animal with broken canine teeth, or a ruined habitat. When an ecosystem is healthy and intact, the ancient laws of caution hold strong. The fear we generate ripples outward, shifting the behavior of the entire global food web. You carry 10,000 generations of successful apex survival written directly into your DNA. The next time you listen to the rustling leaves beyond the tent wall, breathe easy. That little pulse of anxiety is just a beautiful, ancient instinct keeping you sharp. The terrifying Dantu outside knows much better than to step into your circle of light. A quiet breeze rustles through the high canopy of the ancient pine tree. Moonlight reflects off a small stream flowing past the edge of a clean clearing. The silent wolf lowers its head, slipping back into the deep shadows of the forest. A small campfire slowly burns down to soft, glowing orange embers. Inside the nylon shelter, a steady, rhythmic breathing continues undisturbed. The natural world maintains its distance, respecting the invisible boundary of the king. Every blade of grass stands still in the crisp, cool midnight air. A distant owl hoots once, marking the peaceful passage of the dark hour. The genetic warning remains active, a silent guardian hovering over the wilderness. No claws will strike, and no sharp teeth will tear into the nylon fabric. The calculation of the wild is complete, and safety reigns supreme over the land. An ancient bond of fear ensures the peace between two distinct worlds. The human brain rests, protected by a legacy built over 2 million years. Morning light begins to paint the eastern horizon in soft shades of pink. The predators have returned to their dens, leaving the camp completely untouched. A new day breaks, proving once again the power written in our biological code. The campfire smoke thins out, disappearing into the vast blue morning sky. A small bird chirps loudly from the top of a tall green pine branch. The sleeping stickman stirs slightly, shifting comfortably on his white pillow. A deep sense of peace settles over the entire empty mountain land. Nature has followed the script perfectly, obeying the hardwired laws of evolution. The magnificent beasts of the earth continue to walk their own separate paths. They remember the red fire, the loud voices, and the ancient spear of the hunter. The lesson of survival is passed down once more to the next wild litter. Keep your distance, preserve your life, and never challenge the creature of the flame. The story of the night ends in perfect, undisturbed silence. The cycle of the savannah continues, balanced by an invisible scale of respect. A human footprint remains pressed firmly into the damp soil near the water. No animal steps on it, bypassing the mark with meticulous, instinctual care. The world belongs to the one who learned to control the blazing spark. Sleep is a vulnerability turned into a display of absolute evolutionary dominance. The fierce eyes in the dark have faded away. The forest belongs to the quiet peace of the early morning hour. Every creature knows its place within the grand design of the planet. The boundary holds firm, unbroken by hunger or passing curiosity. A safe haven exists wherever a human decides to lay down their head. The genetic code has spoken, and the wild has listened with absolute obedience. The magnificent journey of human survival continues through the modern age. We carry the strength of millions of ancestors who conquered the darkest night. The modern tent is just a symbol of an ancient fortress built of fear. No apex predator will dare to cross that invisible line of history. The calculations of risk remain unchanged in the minds. A deer runs past the camp, completely ignored by the resting wolves nearby. The focus remains on safety, on surviving to see another beautiful sunset. The balance of power is clear, etched in the very dust of the earth. The stickman opens his eyes, looking up at the bright canvas roof above. A smile forms on his face as he hears the familiar birds of the night has passed without a single shadow touching his fragile shelter. The ancient agreement has been honored once more by the forces of nature. The great kingdom of the wild remains beautiful, distant, and deeply respectful. Our legacy is secure, written in the stars and the DNA of every beast. The campfire is now just a circle of gray ash on the ground. The journey of life moves forward, guided by the wisdom of the past. The most dangerous animal on the earth prepares to start another day. A quiet power resonates through the simple act of standing upright again. The environment adapts, reacting to the presence of the ultimate rule. The story of survival is a song that never stops playing. We are the architects of the ecosystem, shaping it through our silent fear. The great predators watch from afar, acknowledging the king of the world. Every night is a victory, a testament to the code that protects us all. The lines of line art remain clean, framing a picture of absolute security. The white background opens up, welcoming the bright light of the sun. The final calculation is simple. You are safe because they know better. The wilderness remains an open book, and humans hold the final pen. The circle of life closes its eyes, resting until the next twilight arrives. The stickman steps out of the tent, ready to face the wide world. The balance is maintained, and the unwritten law remains supreme forever.